Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. We're kicking off a gingerbread Christmas, and I have bought some fabric. I wanted to show you, I picked up some of this at Hobby Lobby for 50% off, so that was a really good deal. But isn't that a cute, cute gingerbread fabric? And I liked the candy theme, so let me grab this other piece. I like this candy, and I actually started out with this and then I added this piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some gingerbread curtains to go in my kitchen. I'm so excited to do this, and I can reuse these year after year for Christmas. As you know, Patches, my little stuffed gingerbread man, brought my joy back a couple of years ago, and so he's been sitting out all year long waiting for Christmas to come around again and to be showcased for the month of December. I know we're still in November, but we got to get started because Christmas is right around the corner. So I'm going to put Patches away, and we're going to get in here and we're going to sew some lined Christmas curtains for my kitchen. I bought 2 yards of this fabric, and what I did is I cut it in half so I have 1 yard panels. And then I also bought 2 yards of the other fabric because I wasn't sure which one I was going to go with. So we'll be using this for gift bags and other things, or maybe just to throw on a table as a table topper. So nothing goes to waste. I've cut 3 pieces of 6-inch to put at the top and the bottom of my front piece. And then I also cut 1 panel, and I cut it in half. So it's this, and then I've cut it in half. I want to make some tie backs. And so I thought this would be a really pretty tie back up against that red fabric. So I thought that would be cute to kind of bring it all together for a gingerbread Christmas. I'm excited, y'all. So we're going to get in here. We're going to get these panels sewn together, and then I'm going to put them up and show you what they look like in my kitchen. First item going up today. I almost forgot the lining. So I picked up some Waverly cotton. This was the pre-packaged 2-yard package, and I just cut it to a 1 yard length. Now I may have to adjust the width because I don't know if the width is going to be the same as the length, but the idea is to make curtains that will fit that window, and I may have to adjust the size of it a little bit more to make sure that I've got enough turnover at the top to put my rod through, and a turnover at the bottom for the hem. Okay, I trimmed down the selvages and I have ironed my seams. And I should have about a 1/4 inch seam there. And I'm going to have to trim the selvage again because this piece is a little bigger than the other piece. But I've got the right sides together. Make sure you've got the shiny side of the fabric if you're using white for your lining as the outside piece or the show piece. And we're just going to go ahead and get this pinned again. And then I'm going to do another sew all the way around. And I'm going to have to shorten this because I need it to be the same length as my inside piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead before I pin and get that shortened to that length. So I'm going to measure this and then I'll get this shortened and put it on there. The reason is so you can have a pocket at each end, and I can slide a curtain rod through the pocket. All right, I've pinned the white to one end, and now I'm going to flip it over, and y'all see how much I have left there? That is going to be your gusset, or your gusset for your curtain rod and for the bottom. So we're going to get this in pinned, and I'm going to get it sewn, and then we're going to come back and we're going to flip this inside out, and I'm going to do a seam down both sides. Then I'm going to sew my gusset for my curtain rod. So we got to get all this lined up. And I'll be trimming up a little more off the white to make sure that it's going to be enough seam allowance. In case I didn't get it straight or anything, I'll be trimming it up because it's just a tad larger than my piece for the curtains. And don't worry if you get 1 inch shorter than the other. You've got 2 curtains to go on your curtain rod. You can always put the longer piece out, and nobody's going to know the difference because you've got them tied back. The sun's come out. So here is my piece. I want to show you. I haven't trimmed this end up yet, but I did trim this one up. I'm going to go ahead and trim this end. Then we're going to flip it, and we'll get our gusset sewn for our the top of our curtain after we turn in the sides. Wow, that sunshine. All of a sudden I had sun in my eyes. So I'm going to flip this over. All right. So that would be the top of the curtain. This would be the back. And again, at the bottom, you want your gusset to kind of be even at the bottom. And I will sew right across this, but I'm going to flip it to put in my seam allowance on either side of my curtain. and not sew this part. So I'm going to start pinning right here where that white starts and where the red starts. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of my curtain. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And this curtain will be ready to be hung. So what I could do before I start is I could just go in here and straight stitch this down right there. Just straight stitch it down and then start my seam so I don't have any raw edges coming out on me. So that's what I'm going to do first, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you the curtains hung up. So I've sewn that down just along the edge. I'm going to do the other side, flipping it under about 1/2 inch. Just till I come down to the white. And I think I'm going to do a double stitch on this one. So I'm just going to turn it around and do the same thing. Just to make sure that I've caught that seam or that raw edge. Get all my strings cut. So I've got a double stitch there because I went off a little bit. This is going to be at the very top. Nobody's going to see it but you. Nobody's going to know it's there but you. And so I'm going to put those two seams together. And I'm just going to pin. And I'm going to get the edges turned down on both sides of this, all the way down to the bottom of my curtain. It was late in the evening when I finished the curtains, and of course my camera went down, so I wasn't able to film the rest of it. But here they are, and it is the next morning, and here they are hanging in my kitchen. They turned out so cute. I'm so excited to add this to our Gingerbread Christmas collection, and these will be used for many years to come in our kitchen. There is more gingerbread decorations to go up in the kitchen area and in the living room, maybe the dining room, I'm not sure, but y'all be on the lookout for all of that. Aren't those little gingerbread houses cute? And those little gingerbread people, oh my goodness, such a cute fabric. There's more gingerbread decorating and crafts coming. So y'all keep a lookout for A Gingerbread Christmas. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.